Hello everybody, today I have a pretty cool video. We're going to be on Ravine CHIMPS and I'm going to be using this Adora Sentry champion combination that I showed in a few videos ago. I think it was on Dark Dungeons. That wasn't the greatest to run, so I said I'm going to bring it back. We're going to be ramping it up to Ravine and getting a really cool run finished off. So if you did not know, with the Cult Arms, this combination is actually pretty darn strong and I actually really like it. You obviously can use this for like a black border strategy and add some stuff. It will work out really well, but you can also get away with not buying a lot of things and getting a good amount of cash spare with this too for a few reasons. So we're going to get Adora down there pretty early on, and I'm going to be trying to go for a Sentry champion as early as possible. Adora is great in the early game, and then Adora kind of just sucks in the mid game, but is amazing in the late game. It's kind of like a very weird, I don't really think there's any hero that scales like that necessarily, but in order to survive the early game, I'm not going to need a whole lot. My round 40 is actually going to be kind of chaotic, but it doesn't matter that much because I'm going to sacrifice any wasteful towers, which is nice that you can actually waste towers freely at your will. It's kind of important to note that you don't want to go like a little too crazy with that, because then you can't really build into your mid game and late game that well often, and if you oversack, that's an issue. There was a little bit of oversacking in this run, definitely not as bad as the Dark Dungeons run. It was maybe like $3,000 over sacrifice, not that much. So if you like can really fix it this run up, you might be able to save like $3,000 at the end if you sacrifice perfectly, but overall not that bad. I end up getting that sharpshooter to take out round 40, and I'm gonna have a never miss ace to beat this mid game really easily. I don't really have to care about it, and that's the great thing with Adora. I'm just gonna sacrifice that later on, so don't care about that right now. I'm gonna get this double discount so I can go for my Cult Arms really cheap, and this is the tower that bridges everything together. The Cult Arms is really great on the engineer, as you might know, because it will increase the spawn rate of the sentries and then the attack speed and pierce of the sentries themselves. So you basically get like double the effects of it, and it's really good. And then we're going to be going for a glue strike too. I'm not be getting a glue storm because I don't really need a glue storm. If you weren't going to, well, if you were going to spend the rest of the money for a black border strategy, the glue storm and overclock for Adora would be a must get. That's just going to be really strong. You're going to get black border super easily, and it's just going to be a great strategy. And then probably I'd say focus, like if you would get like a mid game carry that would help you in the early 80s. Either that or actually just like getting Sentry champion earlier would probably help, because it's a Ravine. It's going to be hard to get Sentry champion, and I'm not going to be able to defend that Adora lane. So just something that gets Sentry champion. Adora can help out in the early game with that, of course. And then once you get that, you're pretty good until you'll have Adora level 20, somewhere around like 95, and that's just like a super good strategy for black borders. Might make a video on it at some point, who knows. But meanwhile, I'm going to be cruising quite easily until I get one major issue, which will be on round 80. So I have the shove. The shove is going to do a lot of very important things. It's going to be used for stalling later on. But I think I'm good. Well, I'm actually going to, the 80s are coming up here soon. I sped through the early game and mid game quite fast. But basically, I could not really beat any of the 80s because Adora sucks in the mid game. And kind of until we get level 20. So with that one Juggernaut on that side, we weren't going to do anything. So I get Condor, and we're going to be moving everything over to the Sentry champion lane. When I say everything, I mean literally everything. As you see there, everything gets moved over. For the ZMGs though, you can just use Ball of Light and the, what is it, the Spikes, Spike Storm. Yes, how did it take me that long to find the name of that? I do need a Spike Storm for round 100. I don't need a first strike. I can get away with that, which is really nice because round 100 is usually very brutal. You'll see the insane round 100 later, but either that or I can just try to RNG out, use the shove to make the ZOMGs go on the other side, which is a thing you can do. Basically, this map is a 2-lane map, even though it looks like 4-lane map, and you can move things from one side to the other side. It's kind of cool. That's how I manipulate RNG a lot of the time. So you can do that especially in like DDT rounds to get all the fortified DDTs to go on one side of 99, or we can just like spam the Ball of Light, the glue strike and the call to arms, maybe that will get it. If we can just knock the ZOMG layer down, we can have Condor to drag the insides. So all of that and everything goes out hopefully pretty well. Anyways, I've been yapping for a bit. I'm going to come back in the late game a little bit. There's a lot to talk about this run, so yeah. All of the DDT rounds were incredibly easy. There's nothing to worry about that. And as you can see, I'm trying to get a stall every single round with the Moab shove to get my abilities back. That's very, 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 very important. Now 96 was the hardest round by far. I wanted to beat it without having to sacrifice for level 20 Adora, but unfortunately level 20 Adora had to come up. So the Condor was gone and we got level 20 and a little bit of oversack was done, but that's all right. We ended up beating this without having any abilities for 97, but that doesn't really matter to me because I was thinking I could just beat 97 without having to use anything. Like, it's around 97 on Ravine specifically. That's like the easiest thing ever. Surprisingly, it was a little harder than I wanted, and I accidentally popped this wave a little bit earlier than I thought, so I didn't get my abilities fully up necessarily, but that actually was all right because in order to beat 98 I needed the ability to use the abilities late anyway, so could have been disastrous, but in this specific case it's not. Anyways, I do some strong first targeting with Ball of Light to rip it all up, and basically I just use all the abilities and make it so I only am surviving with just one BFB at the end, and with that I can stall that out, all abilities up for 99, and then we're going to be good just to take out 99 as freely as I want. I stall one one Moab back here. As long as I don't use the Ball of Light or Long Arm of Light, I'll be able to stall out this Moab just fine to get my abilities back to take out 100. Now 100 was also a challenging round. I needed to get the abilities down perfectly. I really couldn't find like the method that where it will work the best, but at the end we're left with all these, and I need to sell all the sentry turrets to insta-kill all the insides, which is a bit harder than it looks. I'm not the fastest with the micro since I stopped doing races, but yeah, it took a long time to get that down. Thanks for watching. If you want to help out the channel, you can check out these new videos, like and subscribe for more content, support the channel by becoming a member, and joining the Discord to chat with the community. Bye!